This is a knife review on my Cutco knife set. This is the studio set. It's got 4 knives. You got your carving knife, your steak knife, spatula spreader, and paring knife. Very simple set. Start off with the carving knife. This has a 6 3/4 inch blade, 12-inch overall. This has their serrations, which are like an octagon shape. Very sharp. These are probably about 10 years old, and they get used quite a bit. So you can see they're sharp. We'll move on to the steak knife. Same deal. This is 5 3/4 inches, 10-inch blade or 10-inch overall, 5 3/4 inch blade. Sharp, just as old, same serration pattern. You have your spatula spreader, which is extremely sharp, and I don't understand why, because this is just for making cakes and putting icing on cakes and cutting them when you're done, but why would you need a extremely sharp knife for cutting a cake? Who knows, but they did it, probably just because they can. Last but not least, you got your paring knife, which has dulled because it is a plain edge. But this is their Diamond D sharpening. They put micro serrations on it, and a true micro serration. It's not just a rough edge. This one, same thing, very old. The person that had these before me used it on a ceramic cutting board, and still okay sharp. A little bit of a tear there. So they stay pretty sharp, and that was used on a ceramic cutting board. One thing I gotta say, let's take out this knife again. This handle design looks good, but it's very functional. You see the design, the way it looks here. It fits in the palm of your hand very nicely, in any grip. Everything, it contours to everything. You got your palm right there, your finger right here. You know, you got your finger on the other side. You know, no matter what grip you hold this in, besides the reverse grip, it's not very comfortable in reverse grip, but it's a kitchen knife, so I wouldn't be using this in a reverse grip. But, yeah, very nice. They stay sharp forever. These have never been sharpened, and if they get dull, you can just send them in and they'll resharpen them for you. So that's nice, especially with the serrated knife. Handles on these ones are the pearl handles. They got a normal handle that's black, but the contour right here, I mean, these are completely smooth. It's like glass, so there's no texturing, so you don't get any grip from texturing. But the way the handle is shaped and designed, your fingers lock into here, and you're not sliding forward on this blade at all. There's just no way that can ever happen. See, I'm pushing as hard as I can. I got both fingers gripped as hard as I can, and these ones end up sliding. So your hand's not going anywhere. What's the one downfall to these is if you're right-handed, they work perfect because the cut on the grind is on the ugly side, or the side that's not facing you. If you're left-handed, these knives aren't going to work as good. They'll still work great, But the reason why I got these is the old owner of these was left-handed, and he hated them, or she hated them, and said they were the worst knives in the world. I got them, and I absolutely love them because I'm right-handed. And the chisel type grind from the serrations works out great for a right-handed person because they're on the opposite side. You know, if you think like a chisel, you want the flat side like this and going forward. Well, that's kind of how it is. They work very good for meat, not so good for vegetables because they kind of want to pull because of that kind of grind. You're cutting like this, and it pulls off to the side, which I don't like. So when you're cutting potatoes or cucumbers or stuff like that, I just use a traditional V-grind knife. But these are great knives. I said before it's a 440A, but it's a properly done 440A because, as you can see, this knife is the perfect example. It's never been sharpened, and it's been used on a ceramic cutting board for about 10 years, and still very sharp. You know, not a razor blade, but still no tearing. It cuts paper, and it's a 440A that's never been sharpened. So, I mean, you can't argue with results like that. I mean, you could not believe me, but I believe myself. So, I mean, that's a sharp knife for a 440A that's never been sharpened and used on a ceramic cutting board. MSRP, you actually have to call a dealer, and they come out, and you have to deal with them just to ask them the price of this. So I didn't do that because this was a gift, and so I didn't want to go through talking to a salesman for 3 or 4 hours just to find out how much these were. So if you want this set, or if you want any Cutco knives, which they're great for the kitchen, I wouldn't really consider these utility knives, but if you want one, you'd have to call, go to their website. They'll give you the number of the salesman in your area, and they'll come out and talk to you and talk your ear off and bore you and try to get you to spend as much money as possible. That's about all I can say about these. If you're right-handed, I suggest these. They cut absolutely amazing, and they never need to be sharpened. And they're a soft steel, so they're not brittle, and they won't chip because they're that 440. You see how much it bends, and it keeps its shape also, which is nice. So I suggest these. I mean, these through meat, you can take off such a thin layer you can see through chicken. I mean, they're awesome, absolutely awesome. Thanks for watching, and see you later.